My name is Chelsie Diane, and I write for Poems and Peonies on Instagram. And I just had this idea if I wrote a poem a day for a year that I would heal.
So
And
I'll
then,
let you know how I came across you. It's a crazy time. All of the coronavirus and lockdown stuff started to happen in March. It like really ramped up in March for us. So yeah, had my baby. I'd also just bought a house just before everything happened. So we were like moving house, trying to work out how we were going to move if there was a lockdown. I'd got this new job. I was still doing my old job and I was just feeling really overwhelmed. And the baby had gone to bed and my husband was working from his home office somewhere else in the house. And I was doing that thing where I think you would know as a mum, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do all these things. And instead you just sit on a couch and kind of stare off into the distance or mindlessly scroll Instagram.
yeah,
I didn't see your poetry account. I saw just like an image doing the rounds on some like just happiness post, and it was someone had handwritten your poem and just posted it on a pole in a neighborhood, and I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. And so I got a pen, got a texter, and I wrote it out on maybe 4 or 5 pieces of paper, and I just went out on foot and started posting them up around my neighborhood. I went digging a bit and I just kept finding CD, and I was like, what CD? What is this? Need more detail. And then I finally came across your poetry account, and it was crazy because it was around the time we were launching this campaign for the Museum of Freedom and Tolerance, where each week we're focusing on a different article of Declaration of Human Rights. Next week is week 3, which is the right to life. And our whole thing is like it's human rights and human responsibilities, and they're so interrelated and you can't have one without the other, because we are all in this together. We're all human. To support life, to help others appreciate that they have that right to life, the rest of us have to take on that human responsibility to help protect it. So that really resonated with me.
it's everywhere.
Hey, it's your poem. When did you write it?
March 19th.
So part of what we love about your poem, which is what I was saying before, that it speaks so beautifully to the delicate balance of our rights as humans with our responsibilities to each other as humans. Wow. So I'm wondering how you've been moved by how people have stepped up to that responsibility to protect the lives of others.
When this all went down, I had this feeling like people are either going to turn, like, in every situation we have this option to either choose love or choose fear. And what's going to save us is choosing love. Also, I feel like fear-based mentality leads to small thinking, and it leads to selfishness. You know, a lot of people would die if it wasn't for people right now, especially our healthcare workers. They're risking their lives every single day, and not only their lives, their families' lives. And if those people chose fear, people would die. There's doctors that could choose to not be working right now.
Yeah, so there is that responsibility. But I mean, obviously, you know, doctors and people that work on those front lines. But what I really loved about what you were saying is all of us have a role to play in this. We all have something to do, and it can seem so small, as much as, you know, stay home, but it's a huge act. It's a huge act of love, and it's a huge act of understanding that we are part of something bigger and that we're interconnected. Going back to what's happened, so I've seen a few. There's the lady in Pennsylvania.
So then a lady from the UN, she's a doctor for the UN, and she sent me a bunch of her colleagues had written it up in multiple languages. And so then I put it on my Instagram, and then my followers started, like, everybody's translated it. And I think I have most every language it translated into. And it was just so beautiful. And so, like, then on my highlights on my Instagram, I started adding them there. And hundreds of countries sent me that they made signs and put it in their parks and on their, like you did, and on beaches, outside hospitals. Oh my God, that was breaking my heart. It was outside so many hospitals. People were putting it on like light poles.
What do you want out of this? Do you have your own? I mean, it was an accidental call to action, I think, but what would you like people to do around this? How do you think people need to go forward creatively and in terms of the situation and supporting each other?
So as artists, especially in this time, we're really seeing how important art is, you know, because when people are at home, that's what we're leaning on. And art and activism is like this, in my opinion. What I would like is for people to use their art to just love the world and to show love and to pour love and to like show the crack of light, you know, like there's always light. Like if you look at the in the sky, there's always light. And if we can find that, where's the light in this, and ask in every situation, or in this pandemic, where's the light? What can I do today? Where's the light in this? We're all creative beings. We're all made to create, and everybody has the capacity to channel something different for the change, which is the most beautiful part about it.
That's
I love this work, and thank you for including me in it. I'm really honored. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.